I live in Massachusetts. One day, while walking around, I stumbled upon an old abandoned factory downtown. There was absolutely no markings or signs or anything to give you the idea of what the factory used to be. I love old historic buildings, so naturally, curiosity got the best of me. The bricks must have been laid hundreds of years ago, and it looked like it still had the original glass. It was incredible. So one day, I decided to grab my camera and check out what the inside looked like. I was planning on making a whole day of it. I packed a lunch and figured I would be able to get some awesome pictures of the inside and outside of it. It would be my own little way of preserving some history. When I arrived and was pumping myself up to climb the fence, the gate opened automatically and a black van drove through and disappeared behind the building. I now thought that hopping the fence and taking pictures might be considered trespassing at a business, so I abandoned my original plan and got the hell out of there. I started asking friends and family if they knew what business was going on at that building, and nobody had any idea and assumed that it had been abandoned a long time ago. This didn't sit well with me, and I just became more and more curious about it as time went on. I began researching the building, and to my absolute amazement, there is no record of it at all. And horrifyingly, if you look it up on Google Maps, the entire building and surrounding area is blurred out. It was at this point that my curiosity turned into a full-blown obsession. I was determined to find out what was going on in that building. I started packing lunches and staking out in my car with binoculars to try and gather all the information I could about this place. On the first day, I sat there and saw the gates open up. I looked through my binoculars, and sure enough, I saw another black van with blacked out windows pull in there. One detail stuck out to me that freaked me out. The license plate was one of those farm use ones. Now, I'm not a typical farmer by any means, but it was obvious to me that this was not the type of van that the typical farmer would use. Did that van just slap a farm use license plate on the back to conceal their identity? The longer I sat there, the more identical black vans I saw go in there, all with farm use license plates. Something was fishy. Something was seriously off, but I had no idea what was going on in the building. One day, I noticed something else that was strange. A black van pulled up to the entrance of the factory, and a man got out wearing a lab coat. He was holding a cage with what appeared to be a small animal inside. My heart sank as I watched him enter the building, and I knew that something terrible was going on inside. After witnessing this, I knew that I had to gather more information. I started researching animal testing and government operations, trying to find any information that could help me understand what was going on in that factory. I knew that this was dangerous, but I couldn't ignore what I had seen. Finally, after weeks of gathering information and building up the courage, I decided to break into the factory and see for myself what was going on. I waited until the middle of the night when I knew that there would be no one around, wore all black and a mask, and I climbed over the fence and entered the building through the broken window. What I saw inside the factory will haunt me forever. There were animals everywhere, all of them trapped in cages and clearly in distress. They were all being subjected to various horrific tests, and I could hear their screams of anguish echoing through the building. It was like something out of a nightmare. I hadn't been able to sleep, and the sounds of their screams continuously haunt me to the point where I can't think about anything else. I don't know what to do. I feel like I can't go to the police because I broke into the building illegally, and I can't risk being thrown in jail. I have a family to support, for God's sake, but I also can't pretend I didn't see what I saw. I don't know where to turn. I've been struggling with this for weeks now, trying to figure out what to do. I know that I just can't sit back and do nothing, but I also don't want to put myself or my family in danger by going public with this information. I am torn between my desire to help these innocent animals and my fear of consequences of getting involved. Every night, I find myself tossing and turning in bed, unable to sleep. When I do manage to drift off, my dreams are plagued with vivid images of the animals I saw in that factory, their faces twisted in pain and terror. The sounds of their screams echo in my mind, haunting me, even in my sleep. I wake up in a cold sweat, gasping for air, unable to shake the images from my mind. It's as if they're calling out to me, pleading with me to do something to stop the cruelty that is happening to them. I feel a deep sense of guilt that I am unable to help them, and it eats away at me each night. During the day, my stomach is in knots, and I have a constant pit in my gut. I can't bring myself to eat, knowing that I have witnessed the atrocities being committed against those innocent creatures. How can humanity be capable of such cruelty and disregard for life? It's not just the animals that suffer, but the people too. How can they go home to their families knowing what they have done to those poor creatures? I feel sick to my stomach, and the very thought of food makes me feel nauseous. It's as if my body is rejecting anything that comes from a world that allows such heinous acts to occur. I feel powerless, knowing that there are people out there who are capable of such inhumane actions, and wondering if anything I do will make a difference. I work as an unarmed security guard for a university in Washington, D.C. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, working swing and night shifts. The university has a couple of buildings, and I've had my fair share of strange, unexplainable experiences here. However, one of the strangest ones happened in the biology building. It was a typical night shift, and I was doing my usual rounds. I started in the biology building, and everything was normal until I heard the distinct sound of someone walking on the second floor. I knew I was the only one in the building, but the footsteps were clear as day. I slowly made my way upstairs and checked every single room, but there was nobody there. I figured I was just exhausted, as it was 4 a.m, so I headed back downstairs to get some coffee. A little while goes by, and I hear someone walking again. This time, I run up there and start screaming, "Come out! Stop hiding! I know you're up here!" Nothing. I check every single room again, and this time, I look under chairs. I look under the desk. I look in the closets, everywhere, and there is still no one to be found. Now, I'm officially scared. I'm officially freaked out. I walk back downstairs and try to collect my composure. A little while goes by again, and sure enough, I hear someone walking up there again. This time, I calmly and quietly make my way up the stairs, doing my best to keep calm and take deep breaths. When I get up the stairs, I see this apparition whipped its back to me, floating away from me down the hallway. I was in shock. I just froze. It was the first time I'd ever seen a ghost, and I couldn't believe what I was saying. Then the apparition turned around and stopped. I couldn't make out all of its details, but I could definitely tell it was looking right at me. We both just stood there for a while, staring at each other. I kept trying to tell myself I was dreaming or hallucinating from being up too long, but there was no denying it. There was a freaking ghost looking right at me. Then all of a sudden, the ghost charges at me and lets out this loud, bellowing war cry. I panicked and stepped back to get away from it, but forgot about the stairs. I fell backward down the stairs and must have knocked my head on the way down. I woke up shortly afterward at the bottom of the staircase and had to go to the hospital, where the doctors told me I got a concussion. Over the next couple of weeks, I had multiple sightings of the ghostly figure. It would appear in random locations and just stare at me. I would say things like, "You don't belong here," and the power of Christ compels you, and move on into the afterlife, but it would just look at me and then disappear. I talked to some of the other guards about it, and it turned out all of them had experiences with this ghost and had other strange paranormal experiences while working the night shift at the university. It was so validating. They talked about hearing strange noises, seeing objects moving on their own, having something touch them when there's nobody there, hearing whispers, all kinds of stuff. One night, I was alone in the biology building, and I heard a loud bang. I ran toward the sound and found one of the display cases completely shattered. As I was inspecting the damage, I felt a sharp pain in my back. I turned around, but no one was there. I lifted my shirt and saw 3 deep scratches on my back. We contacted a paranormal investigator who helped us uncover the truth behind the strange occurrences. It turns out that the biology building was built on an old burial ground, and the shadow figure was the ghost of a Native American. When I found that out, I was shocked. Once he said Native American, everything clicked for me. The scream that he made when he charged at me was the fiercest battle cry I had ever heard. Now I'm thinking, that was probably the sound he made before he was slain in battle. The paranormal investigator claimed that the Native American was enraged that the university was built on the old burial ground and was using its energy to make itself known and make things right. The paranormal investigator, some of the guards, and I all performed this trippy cleansing ritual, and afterward, we never experienced any more paranormal activity in the biology building. It's as if the presence had never been there. The university administration decided to keep the incident under wraps and not disclose it to the public. The experience left a huge impact on me. I had witnessed something so surreal that it challenged my beliefs, my morals, my faith, and it tested my courage. I gained a new appreciation for the unknown and the mysteries that lie beyond our comprehension. The Native American spirit taught me to be more open-minded and to never dismiss the possibility of the paranormal. Having said that, it had also made me realize that there are forces at work in the world that we could not explain or understand. It also made me question the motives of those in power and their willingness to keep the truth hidden from the public. I mean, this is a university. We're supposed to be teaching people here, teaching kids. Here is a very real paranormal experience that was going on. We successfully stopped the paranormal activity, and the university doesn't embrace this as an opportunity to teach the students about the mysterious forces out there. They covered it up. What else are they covering up? Then again, maybe they didn't want the public to know that an old Native American burial ground was destroyed. I was on vacation with my wife at Payette Lake near McCall, Idaho. It was a beautiful day, and we decided to go for a swim. The water was crystal clear, and we could see all the way to the bottom. Absolutely gorgeous. We were having a great time until we saw something truly strange in the water. It was a massive creature that defied explanation. I'm just a regular guy. I used to geek out about paranormal stuff as a kid, and I've had a few strange experiences in the past, but nothing like this. We were swimming in the lake, having a ball, when we saw something strange in the water. It was a massive creature with a long neck and head like a dinosaur. It was moving through the water with ease. It looked like Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. We stopped swimming and just watched the majestic beast sail on by. We immediately started asking around, and we found out that Charlie, the serpent of Payette Lake, was a well-known legend in the area. People had been reporting sightings for years, but I had never heard of it before. It definitely wasn't something we were expecting to see on our vacation, and we heard all kinds of crazy stories from the locals at the bar about their encounters with the Nessie look-alike. Some people claimed to have seen it up close and personal, while others saw it from a distance. The stories were all different, but they all described a massive creature in the lake. This one couple we met at the bar shared their stories with us and even took us out on a boat to try and spot Charlie again. They were self-proclaimed Charlie enthusiasts. That day, we didn't have any luck, but it was still a fun and exciting experience. We still talk to that couple this day, and they're planning on coming to visit us again soon. As we learned more about Charlie and its history, we became more and more enthralled by the majesty of this creature. We started to research more and more about it, trying to uncover more information. I wouldn't say that I was scared when I saw Charlie myself, but the more we learned about it, the more anxious I became that I might see something like her again. First Nessie, now Charlie. How many of these things are out there? And are they dangerous? Some people claim Charlie had tried to attack them, but I'm not sure if I believe those stories. Same with Nessie. Overall, people seem to think that Nessie's friendly. I wouldn't believe that Charlie was just checking us out of curiosity, but who knows? Maybe she wanted a snack. We learned that Charlie had been sighted tons of times over the years, with the first documented sighting by Western settlers in 1920. We also found out that the creature was named Charlie after a contest held by the editor of the Star News in 1954. The girl who named Charlie was from Springfield, Virginia. We had some family over there. Small world, right? Charlie is believed to be a reptile-like sea creature that lives in the deep alpine waters of the Payette Lake. She's said to be between 30 and 40 feet long, with a pronounced jaw and a shell-like skin. I can definitely confirm this based on when I saw her. She was a big girl. Now get this, the first reference to Charlie may be the belief of Native Americans, predating Western settlements of the area, that an evil spirit dwelled in the lake. It was scary, exciting, and awe-inspiring at once. The world is full of mysteries and wonders that we may never fully understand, but that's what makes it so fascinating. I feel grateful to have been a part of this amazing phenomenon, and I hope that others will have the opportunity to experience the same wonder and awe that I did. After sharing my experience with Charlie, my wife and I became kind of local celebrities around there. People were eager to hear our story and learn more about the legendary serpent of Payette Lake. We gave interviews to local newspapers and even got offered to be interviewed by the news, but it ended up not working out. It was a strange and unexpected turn of events, but I was happy to share my story with others and spread the word about the incredible natural wonders that exist all around us. I realize how lucky I am to have witnessed such an incredible phenomenon. It was a reminder that there is still so much that we don't know about the world and the creatures that inhabit it. I feel grateful to have had the opportunity to experience such a wonder, and it's an experience that I will never forget. My encounter with Charlie was a once-in-a-lifetime encounter with a creature that has been the subject of legend and speculation for over a century. I believe that there is still much we don't know about Charlie and other creatures like it, but I also believe that it's important to approach these mysteries with an open mind and a sense of wonder. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes the most incredible moments come from the most unexpected places.